In this video, we're going to talk about a sublingual oxiracetam strategy. Coming up. Okay, 1.5 minutes. Let's see if I can squeeze in 1.5 minutes. I'm actually just trying to experiment with it. 1.5 minutes of Product Pro. Number one, we wrote 3 digital guides. They teach you how to use nootropics, and they're massively stack written. Number one is the Racetam God Guide, which we're going to kind of read. This stack that we're going to talk about comes directly out of the Racetam God Guide. Very powerful digital guide that explains how to use racetams and gives you a bunch of stacks. Number two is the Noopep Pro stack list. Same thing, but with Noopep, highly effective nasal, oral, sublingual Noopep stacks. Number three is Smarter, Better, Faster. These are all digital, so you can download them for a mobile device. Get these at livecortex.com. SBF is like, kind of like if you're new to nootropics, teaches you how to use them, gives you stacks. Very powerful stuff. Fourthly, we've got a stack. It's called Cortex. It is powerful. Basically a productivity stack for entrepreneurs, but anyone who needs productivity and lots of brain energy and lots of verbal fluency can benefit from it. Get the Cortex stack at livecortex.com. Lastly, we do stack consulting. That is, if you need help on nootropics, whether you need to shave some things off your stack or you need to have me help you formulate a perfect stack for your medical school exams that you got coming up. It's a consult, 40 minutes with me, 15 additional email correspondences. Get it all at livecortex.com. I think I did it in under 1.5 minutes. Okay, so oxiracetam is this, AMPA modulating, acetylcholine release facilitating racetam, very powerful. It is the laser focus racetam. It's really interesting. I use it for focus, and I use it also when my brain when I didn't sleep well, my brain doesn't function well as a result. If I've really something's just like gunking my brain up, especially lack of sleep, oxiracetam will take the functionality part of the brain back to baseline and above baseline in most cases. So it's cool. It's cool to have in the arsenal. It's a good, solid racetam. I don't think there's any toxicity issues with it or any otherwise safety issues. I think it should be cycled like every other racetam, like every other nootropic. And we really get into cycling strategies in Smarter, Better, Faster, our guide, if you really want to know how to cycle stuff. But turns out you can take oxiracetam sublingually. It's actually it's kind of tasty. It kind of tastes kind of interesting, almost like sugary. It's sort of weird. I think a lot of folks who've taken sublingual oxiracetam have come to understand that. But I first tried it 4 or so years ago. I had some oxiracetam probably from like Powder City. It was like where we were getting oxiracetam back then. And I was like, I don't know why I'd never tried it sublingually up until that point. I'm like, why don't I just, try it? And I threw, I think it was 400 or 500 milligrams sublingually down of oxiracetam. I was like, wow, man, this is profoundly effective, profoundly awesome, and profoundly easy, as sublingual dosing normally is, which is when you put it under your tongue, let it sit for 5 minutes, then spit it out. Okay, so I'm going to give you a sublingual oxiracetam stack. That's essentially a lower dose oxiracetam stack in the dose ingredient quantity in its entirety, but it's a powerful stack as it's sort of a constant infusion of oxiracetam into your brain. Okay, here is the stack. It is 200 milligrams sublingual oxiracetam every hour. So every hour you're going to be dosed with 200 milligrams sublingual oxiracetam until you reach 600 milligrams of oxiracetam. Okay, 200 milligrams every hour until you reach 600 milligrams oxiracetam. You're going to be dosing it 3 times until you reach 600 milligrams. This will provide a sustainable base level infusion of oxiracetam to improve focus, working memory, and mental fluidity. Now here's the thing. I know some of you might be thinking, well, that's like not enough oxiracetam. And for some folks that are power users that might have some sort of receptor damage or otherwise just like really have a strong necessity from, maybe some long-term like drug use or otherwise brain damage, they just need larger doses of oxiracetam for it to function the way it needs to. They might not respond well to that stack, but for everybody else, they're going to. And I think even those folks too. Remember, you're taking this sublingually, you're putting it under your tongue, and you're thus allowing it to absorb in your bloodstream a lot quicker. Okay, oxiracetam is one of those racetams that taken sublingually packs a very super powerful punch. The other one is aniracetam. And that stack is pretty awesome. It's easy, right? It works highly effectively. You don't have to go and take any of these 10 stack nootropic stacks. And look, there's a place for them, but sometimes you want to just really make it easy. This is the kind of strategy that I use when I'm traveling. We did a podcast on nootropic strategies for traveling in which we talked about this and uridine monophosphate sublingually and taking a drafenol with you because modafinil, if you cure modafinil in other ways other than your doctor, it might be safer to have a drafenol on you, etc. And so that's one of the other strategies that I employ when I travel. I just went to the Jersey Shore. Well, I went like 3-4 times over the summer, but this last trip that I took was last week. I brought a bunch of nootropics, and one of them was oxiracetam, and I dosed that strategy, and it was freaking awesome. Like, I was sitting there at the dinner of this restaurant that at the hotel that I was at, which has a restaurant attached to it, having conversations with folks as I went down there for partially pleasure, partially for a business meeting, and I dosed that sublingual strategy of oxiracetam, and I was on fire. You know what I mean? It was later at night too, so you could tell like everyone else's brain there, like people were yawning, and I'm like, what next? What next? Anyone want to focus on something? Because I use that stack. Use that strategy. That is from the Mighty Racetam God Guide. Thanks for watching.
What's up, everybody? Ryan Michael Bowler here. Hey, thanks a lot for listening to the video. Thanks a lot for being here. But check this out. If you want to take your nootropics game to a different level, to the pro level, we've got 4 major products for you. Number 1, the NuPep Pro Stack List. I think of all of these, it's the NuPep Pro Stack List and the Racetam God Guide, which we're going to get to in just a second, and we explain in the video, that are the most advanced guides out of our guides. The NuPep Pro Stack List is a digital guide that explains a bunch of powerful sublingual, oral, and nasal NuPep stacks. It also has 20 bonus Racetam stacks. The gist of it is, look, it took me a long time, 4 years of concentrated experience trying to find the best NuPep stacks, putting them in a digital guide. It's like folks try for a while to find a good NuPep stack. They're like, you're weighing stuff out, they're adding different ingredients in, they can't quite get it right. I figured them all out. I figured the God stacks of NuPeps, and I put them in the NuPep Pro Stack List. Get that at livecortex.com. It's digital. Then the Smarter, Better, Faster guide, as you see right in front of you here, that is a guide for new folks. If you're new to nootropics, look, any of these guides will suit you, but if you're new to nootropics, this teaches you everything. Choline sources, racetam, stacking racetams, phenibut, research chemicals, modafinil, everything in between. Smarter, Better, Faster is a very powerful, information-dense, it's also a lot of stacks in there, digital guide you can download for anything you have. Then the Racetam God Guide. This is a little on the advanced level, but still, anyone could take it and get the stacks from it, and then can go implement those stacks, make those stacks, capsule the stuff, the ingredients that we've got laid out in the stacks, and then get a benefit from it. It's got 80 plus pro, highly advanced, super effective Racetam stacks. We got aniracetam, piracetam, oxiracetam, phenylpiracetam, nephiracetam, coliracetam, fasoracetam, all the major 8 nootropic racetams in that guide. And then the Cortex stack. The Cortex stack is really like, look, if you're really looking to take your nootropics game to another level, I created that stack to give people an idea of what nootropics really should be. The pre-made stacks that were out there were not that effective. They just weren't. The companies and the folks that own those companies, I'm sure, are great. They just weren't that effective. So I created a stack that was like blowing my mind and allowing my brain to really function well during an 18-hour period building a business. I then converted that to a commercial stack. It is called Cortex. It is strong, okay? Get all that stuff at livecortex.com. That is what you got to do if you really want to take your nootropics game to the next level. Get these guides. Get all these guides. If you're new, get the Smarter, Better, Faster guide. If you want a NuPep stack list that's highly advanced and surgical, get the NuPep Pro stack list. If you want some Racetam stacks that are extremely effective, situationally specific, get the Racetam God Guide. And listen, thanks so much for being with me. Go to livecortex.com and get these products. And my friends, be epic and achieve more.